Welcome back to State of the Union. 4 human beings are about to get farther away from planet Earth than anyone ever has in history. That's because tomorrow the Artemis shuttle begins its lunar approach, when astronauts will see parts of the moon that are, as of now, totally unexplored, and they will briefly lose all contact with mission control here on Earth. Joining us now is NASA Administrator Jared Isaacman. Mr. Isaacman, thank you so much for joining us on this historic day. Tomorrow is the moment everyone's waiting for. Is everything a go for the lunar flyby? What exactly will the astronauts be looking for on the far side of the moon?
Good morning, Jake. Happy Easter. And yes, this is an incredibly exciting mission. Right now, the astronauts have been on a go for some time. Actually, in fact, the moment we committed them to the translunar injection, where we were to send them farther into space than humans ever have gone before, they were committed around the path around the moon and then starting their journey back safely to Earth. So essentially in the next 24 hours, they will be on the far side of the moon. They will eclipse that record, and we're going to learn an awful lot about the spacecraft, which is pretty paramount to set up for subsequent missions like Artemis 3 in 2027, and of course, the lunar landing itself on Artemis 4 in 2028.
So the Artemis crew and mission control, as you know better than I, will experience a 30 to 50 minute communications blackout when the moon is positioned directly between the spacecraft and planet Earth. It's planned. We all know about it, but how much is it giving you heartburn?
I would say the communication blackout is not much of a high blood pressure moment for us. It's actually quite routine to have loss of communications, even in missions in low Earth orbit. A lot of times, if you pay attention, the International Space Station crew will have pretty extensive periods where we have no video coverage and even no audio coverage. In fact, I think on my last mission in space, we had almost 24 hours of a period of time where we had some limited communication capability. So that's not actually the concern area at all. I'd say we're focusing very much on the ecosystem, the life support system of the spacecraft. This is the first time astronauts have ever flown on this spacecraft before. That's what we're most interested in getting data from. That's what's going to help inform subsequent missions like, again, Artemis 3 and 4 in the future.
I think all of us would appreciate an update on the astronauts' toilet, which was working better the last we heard with all this priceless equipment. It does seem that the toilet is giving the most trouble.
Well, I just want to be clear, throughout the history of human spaceflight, so going from the Mercury Gemini Apollo program to Shuttle to Mir and International Space Station to Dragon, which I flew on, and of course Orion, the toilet working is almost a bonus capability. This is something that we can do a lot of extraordinary things in space right now, but nailing this capability is one that we need to certainly work on. I will say we build in a lot of backups, so there's different vent lines, for example, for urine. Even when we have an issue with some freezing on the primary, the secondary's been working. So believe me, the astronauts, they're okay right now, and they were well prepared for this situation.
While this incredible mission is going on, the president dropped his new budget proposal on Friday, and that proposal would cut NASA's total spending by nearly a quarter, $5.6 billion. The moon missions would still be funded, but other proposed cuts include a $3.4 billion reduction in science missions. Do you support the president's proposed cuts to NASA?
Yeah, of course I do. I would first, to put things in context, NASA's budget is greater than every other space agency across the world. NASA's science budget is greater than every other space agency combined across the world. A lot of that takes out of context the $10 billion investment in President Trump's signature One Big Beautiful Bill, or working family tax cut credit. That's what gives us the capability to get to the moon with frequency, to build the enduring presence on the moon base, which in itself is going to afford numerous scientific and technological development opportunities. We are able to launch the Roman Space Telescope at the end of 2026, 100 times the field of view of the Hubble telescope, 1,000 times the scan rate. We're going to launch a nuclear-powered octocopter in 2028 to explore Saturn's moon of Titan within the budget environment. We're going to be able to launch the first of its kind nuclear interplanetary space probe in 2028 to go past Mars and drop off a series of helicopters within the president's budget request. We absolutely have the resources. NASA doesn't have a top-line problem. We just need to focus on executing and delivering world-changing outcomes.
Before you go, sir, I would be remiss if I didn't ask a question on behalf of the millions and millions of Americans interested in space exploration, at least in part to solve the mystery of whether we are truly alone in the universe. Does the prospect of alien existence factor in at all into how we plan NASA missions?
I would say it goes to the heart of many things that we do at NASA. I mean, our job here is to go out and try and unlock the secrets of the universe. And one of those questions is, are we alone? So I would say that is inherent in every one of our scientific endeavors, our exploration endeavors, even building the moon base on the south pole of the moon at some point. We'll be able to incorporate telescopes that will help us continue this great search, not to mention all the subsequent telescopes that we're going to launch, like I mentioned, Nancy Grace Roman. So it's inherent in our mission.
Are we alone?
I've been to space twice. I didn't encounter any aliens up there yet. I have not seen anything to suggest that we've been visited by any intelligent life forms out there. But when you think about it, we got 2 trillion galaxies out there. Who knows how many star systems within each of it? I would say the odds that we will find something at some point to suggest that we are not alone are pretty high.
Administrator Isaacman, thank you so much. Congratulations prematurely, but so far on a mission going so great, and happy Easter to you and your family.
Thank you. Happy Easter. We'll celebrate when they're under parachutes in the water.
Okay, sounds good. An Easter message for all of us here on Earth from one of the astronauts looking at us from space. His stirring Easter message next. We'd like to leave you today with a special Easter message, this one from a most unlikely place, outer space. Take a listen to astronaut Victor Glover.
In all of this emptiness, this is a whole bunch of nothing, this thing we call the universe. You have this oasis, this beautiful place that we get to exist together. I think as we go into Easter Sunday, thinking about, all the cultures all around the world, whether you celebrate it or not, whether you believe in God or not, this is an opportunity for us to remember where we are, who we are, and that we are the same thing, and that we got to get through this together.
Happy Easter.